Today on episode 40, our Gale Sayers episode of Typical Chicago Fans presented by The Loop Sports, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the NBA Draft recap, Blackhawks draft results, Diamond Talk on the Cubs and Sox, TCF top 3 vacation activities. Let's roll.
One of the sponsors of today's podcast is SeatGeek. SeatGeek is a ticket search engine that never loses the sight of the fan experience. Simply go to their website, type in the name of a team, and choose the date you're looking to attend. SeatGeek will present you with a graphic chart of the stadium where you can then choose your seats and tickets based on a score system that determines the best value. If you've never used SeatGeek before, we partner with them to give you a great deal. Just apply the coupon code TheLoopSports in all caps at checkout to take $20 off of your first purchase with SeatGeek. A $50 night for two at the ballpark becomes just $30, or a $23 trip by yourself turns into just $3 with the promo code TheLoopSports in all caps at checkout. You have no excuse not to go out and root on your favorite team. Just apply the coupon code TheLoopSports in all caps at checkout and have a great time on us. Thank you to SeatGeek for partnering with us here at The Loop Sports. Again, that is The Loop Sports in all caps. Will give you $20 off of your first purchase with SeatGeek. Hello and welcome to episode 40 of Typical Chicago Fans presented by The Loop Sports. I am Zach Lilia, and if you're watching our YouTube page above me, it says at ZLilia, TCF LILJA. That is where you can find me on Twitter. The main page is at typical_Chicago. The Loop Sports is at the Loop_sports on Twitter. Facebook, Typical Chicago Fans, we do a weekday show. I think we're going to be doing one this Thursday on our Typical Chicago Fans Facebook Live. Check us out on there. And also The Loop Sports on Facebook and Instagram. The Loop Sport, Typical Chicago Fans.
It's Boomy over here. You can follow me at BoomyTCF. If you are an Apple user, you can find all of our podcasts on Apple Podcasts. If not, head on over to Spotify. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts and follow us on Spotify. And make sure you head over to the YouTube page. We've always put our weekly Facebook videos up there. And if you're watching on YouTube now, we have all of our podcasts we record with video as well. So you can watch all of our shows there. So head on over to YouTube, type in Typical Chicago Fans, and hit that red subscribe button. We got a lot more stuff coming at you guys here in the near future. I have a petition I'd like to start. Can we change your Twitter handle?
Why?
Just so you don't. This is just for your sake. This is just me looking out for you, just so you don't have to spell out your last name every single episode.
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Was Z Lily Daddy taken?
Maybe we'll put it up to a poll. We'll try and figure out some names for it, and we'll figure it out. We will be going on, what do you say, about a week to 10-day vacation here.
Little hiatus.
Boomy is going on a vacation, and we're just going to maybe get a little away from the podcast. We will be doing a Facebook Live Thursday night. So we are going to take off the next week into the 4th of July. We were thinking about maybe doing something after the 4th of July, but we may or may not do it. We'll see how the 4th of July goes.
Yeah, that's going to be a big part of it.
But yeah, we're going to be, Boomy's going, you're going to Nashville?
Nashville, yep. Leave Friday morning. Going to spend, I think we're coming back Monday, going with 3 other couples. So we're going to go out. We got an Airbnb and all that fun stuff. And I think we're going golfing Saturday morning or Sunday morning, one of the two, and just gonna go hang out. I hate country music. I despise it, but it'll be fun going with other couples and just taking in the city, and might have to convince them to go to a minor league baseball game or something along those lines.
Who's down there?
That's the Nashville Sound. They're the AAA affiliate of the Brewers, I believe.
I think I may have seen
Ricky Weeks there, didn't you?
Ricky Weeks, or I think maybe it was Prince Fielder.
Yes,
I can't remember who it was.
I think you're right. Maybe it was both. It could have been right around that time. I saw Prince Fielder like 2 months after he got drafted by the Brewers at the the Beloit Snappers game, and so I actually have his dad's autograph on that ticket stub somewhere, and I was maybe like 11 or 12 at the most, and my dad had pointed out, I didn't know who Cecil Fielder was, right? He didn't really play he did play in my lifetime, but I didn't know who he was. And my dad's like, that's Cecil Fielder, you should go ask for his autograph, and he was kind of a dick about it. Like, he acted like I was a burden to him just to get his signature at a complete dead point in the game. Like, Prince wasn't at bat. He wasn't in the field. And all I did, like little 11-year-old me, walked up with my ticket and a marker and asked him for an autograph. And he made it seem like I had asked him to, like, borrow his car. So, so if you're out there listening, like, come on, man.
Come on, man.
Like, just be a little nicer to the little kids.
I don't think Cecil Fielder was the nicest guy, though.
No,
I think that's.
But I liked his son. I liked Prince Fielder a lot, and I was really sad when he retired. But yeah, little
was
hiatus.
It neck injury he had?
Yeah, he had like a chronic problem with his neck, and they just could never get it fixed. And I think he had multiple surgeries. But he was a big boy.
He was a big boy.
Big old boy.
For sure. But let's get into our sinkers and floaters right now. My first, I'm gonna have. Let me see here. I don't have my notes out. I'm not
Good
very
preparation.
prepared. My sinker is the hat game in the NBA draft. In a way,
yes,
I like the
agree.
logo, but you got to have visors ready for guys who don't have the hair for it. One Coby White,
yeah,
maybe give him
that's
a visor.
good point.
Also, I think it's ridiculous that yes, I understand that the NBA year doesn't start until a certain day and all these trades don't go through. But why it's so stupid that you know who you're going to be on and they still give you the hat of the supposed team that drafted you. Like, we understand that the trade already happened. You know it going into the pick. Please just get them the right hat.
Yeah.
I don't know why it
or
bothers
like,
me,
don't
but
make
it does.
them wear a stupid hat. Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter any. But I completely agree with you because especially like deals you know are going to go down, but they can't happen until the fiscal year starts for the NBA. Like, it looks stupid. And like, there's even dumber rules. Like, there's something with like the Lakers and the whole Anthony Davis deal. Like, there's a chance DeAndre Hunter might have to play in the summer league for the Lakers, and he'll never play a game for the Lakers if that trade doesn't go down in time.
That's just stupid.
It is stupid, but I agree. I'm not even a big fan. Like, the hats, first of all, this year, they weren't even that cool. So, like, I could just do without them, period. Like, we don't even have to do the whole song and dance. You know? It's just me, though.
No, so NBA, and I think the logos are actually cool. The hats themselves are cool, but also have visors for these guys.
Yes.
And also give them the hat that what team they will be on.
Exactly. Now, if, like, they get traded, like, an hour later, then that's fine. We can give that a pass. Like, they didn't know that was going to happen. But in the ones you know are going to happen, like, just get the guy a hat.
Give me the right hat, yeah.
Exactly. It can't be that hard. My sinker, on the other hand, is the entire state of Mississippi. They are putting up a historical marker that commemorates two men that reported they were abducted by aliens. And this happened in 1973 near a town that I can't even begin to pronounce, Pascagoula. I'm sure we're going to go with that. Two men, Charles Hickson and Calvin Parker, say that they were on the shores of the river. The appeared aliens pulled them on board of a UFO, examined them for 30 minutes, and returned them to Earth. And so now, what are we talking, like almost 45 years later, if my math is correct, these guys are getting a roadside commemorative historical marker for allegedly being abducted by aliens. I don't even mind that. I'm all into aliens, and all that stuff. But, like, are we just going to give a historical marker to every Tom, Dick, and Harry that says that they were abducted by aliens now?
Yeah, maybe I can go
There's going to be historical markers everywhere.
I might go out and just say that I was abducted by aliens.
Can we just do this and just say we were abducted by aliens?
I would love a commemorative anything of me anywhere.
Just slap a TCF sticker on it and then
throw on a sign of for me. Maybe name a street after me.
Exactly. Like, that's just setting a bad precedent. Come on, Mississippi. You can do better than that.
You know how people get mad at the participation trophy?
Yeah, that's a participation trophy. 100%.
Even though I don't really care about participation trophies, it doesn't really matter to me. But, you know, I love that argument. They had it on 670 the other day. People were calling in just furious about people getting participation trophies. But you get the participation trophy still says participation trophy on it.
Yeah.
So you understand what it means.
Exactly. You know what that means.
But yeah, that is the participation trophy of that.
Yes. My floater, on the other hand, is Scamp the Tramp, who just won the world's ugliest dog. And if you get a chance, look up Scamp the Tramp. This thing is ugly, but good for Scamp. I mean, if you're going to be ugly at something, like, be the ugliest. And they had apparently they have a competition that is for the world's ugliest dog. It's in another city I can't pronounce, Petaluma, California. And this dog is ugly as hell. I'm not even going to be nice about it. But, you know, like I said, if you're going to go in, like, be the best at what you're good at. And Scamp the Tramp is ugly as hell. But she's the ugliest.
You gotta be the ugliest of the all.
Yes,
of them
like
all,
you don't want to be like the fourth runner-up in the ugliest dog.
I'm the third ugliest person.
You go back to participation trophies. No one wants a participation trophy in the ugliest dog count because you're still in the top 10.
You want to be the ugliest.
Yeah, exactly. Either be the ugliest, be the best, or go home.
Yeah, I'd rather be the ugliest than like one of the uglies.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm already one of the ugly people. I need
Might as well be the ugliest.
Might as well be the ugliest. My floater is crazy people on social media because O.J. Simpson has joined Twitter.
Lunatic.
Crazy. And Dennis Rodman is just running wild on Instagram and talking about how he would score. He's saying that Jordan would score 50 a game. He just goes after Draymond about how he put a picture up the other day and it was him guarding Draymond and it said air ball. And
I love Dennis, but like, dude, come on.
But it's just like social media, Twitter has just become a place where crazy people can just go, and I guess they're just allowed to do it. Like these videos of OJ, it's pretty wild. Like, I mean,
like who in his team is not like whispering
his lawyer? He follows his lawyer, and his lawyer is like very happy and saying, like, bragging about how many followers that OJ has and this and that, and like he keeps. Well,
when your first tweet or one of your first tweets is something like, "I've got some revenge to get," or something like.
I think getting even to do is what he said.
Like, what are you talking? Like, that's just a bad look,
he's
man.
Tweeting at the Buffalo Bills and everything, and then like quote tweeting them, and they're probably.
I think your summer goal should be to get blocked by OJ.
Well, PFT already is.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
I would rather not, because then you're on his radar.
Yeah, and especially like if you get killed by OJ, no one will know. But like if PFT gets killed,
either way though, I think it's good. Maybe almost good for the TCF brand.
Take one for the team.
But dude,
attaboy, I like that.
It is. I mean, it would be a story.
Oh, absolutely. I will make sure it's a story.
But it is wild, though. I mean, I think him murdering me would be the big story. I think that would not make the news.
All right, I'll make it then get to the news.
But it is, like I said, it is crazy. These guys are just like allowed to run wild on like Twitter, and like there's pretty much no repercussions for what they're saying, and like I guess OJ was found not guilty, but I mean he went to jail for 9 years for doing the robbery and stuff like that.
He also wrote a book called "What If I Did Do It."
What if I did do it? That is the wildest.
You ever heard Cat Williams' thing on that?
No.
He says, "What if I did do it?" And Cat Williams goes, "What if you just shut the F up about it?" Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, like going on Twitter, like, why would you even want to get back in that spotlight?
Getting back to do, like, dude, just stop.
Yeah.
Stop,
wild,
man.
wild. Well, let's get into the.
Speaking of wild,
the Bulls.
The Bulls in the NBA. Like, I don't know
Coby White.
I was glued to it. Even so, we recorded ourselves, watching the first 45 minutes of the draft. Then we went Facebook Live and talked about it. I don't know about you. When you left, I sat upstairs and watched every second of the rest of the draft. I watched that thing till 11:45 at night.
It's interesting because, like you said, one day, so you know that you're just watching it and it will be over. Bull falls to 44.
44.
Taco Fall was picked up by the Celtics.
Yeah.
And what actually Schofield, our pitcher, my buddy, Chris Schofield, was telling me that if it's not, I thought it was a 10-day contract, which would make no sense, I guess, because it wouldn't.
No, it's a summer league.
No, it's like something 10, and it's a contract to where at some certain point, I think in training camp or after training camp, you are either figure out if you're going to get paid. I think $75,000, which is the minimum minimum for G League or the G League rate, or I think 800 and something thousand, which is the minimum for NBA. Yeah. So it's kind of like one of these contracts where you don't really know what's going to happen with it. But it gives them an opportunity to go to training camp, go to a summer league with them, and then maybe they could put them in the G League, or they could bring them to the NBA.
I think a guy like Taco Fall, and even looking at, I don't know about you, dude, but I feel so bad for Bull. Like, this kid is 19 years old, was the number 5 pick coming out of high school, was told by everyone that he was a lottery pick, and he has to sit. He was the last player in the green room. He was in tears. Allegedly, someone was like, one of the GMs was like saying something about his appearance and scaring people off. and he drops all the way to 44. Like, that kid has the biggest chip on his shoulder. Now, I hope that he becomes a really good player. He's off to Denver now. I think he's a good kid. He hasn't done anything, there's been no bad stories about him.
No.
But the problem is that he's 7'2" and he weighs 205 pounds.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that the NBA brought 25 draftees to the NBA draft. I think that's a little excessive.
I agree.
Because then it turns into a
somebody's
situation.
going to get screwed out.
Yeah,
Somebody's going to fall.
Yeah, I just think that's way too many, and then it sets up a situation like a guy like Bull, who's sitting in the green room or whatever. I don't know how they do it. The last one to be drafted, falling all the way to 44, and you got the camera in your face and everything. So
now I have a question for you.
I think it's kind of the NBA's problem.
I agree. Like, especially, I mean, I understand with Bull because he was projected at worst to be like the 15th pick, but maybe imagine one of those guys that's projected to be like 25th and he falls to like 50.
I do think he had been falling out of the first round in some draft.
Literally that day, though, that I was looking at it, it had him going 20th to the Pacers.
Yeah, but it's one of those guys the Bulls had a chance at him.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like we talked about in the NFL draft with Kyler Murray. If he doesn't go first, he might not go till the second round. It's just one of those situational needs, and it's how much time do you want to spend waiting for a guy like we said, he's 19 years old, but again, he's 7'2", weighs 205 pounds. You want to get him to a healthy 245, 250 at minimum. And unfortunately, like, that's only going to happen with time and being in the G League and getting the proper nutrition and all that. But I have a question for you. The Bulls at number 37 take Daniel Gafford, a center out of Arkansas. At first, I wasn't crazy about the pick. From what I've watched in the last couple days, I've been impressed. He does get out.
The freak athlete.
Yes, exactly.
Very athletic.
He can play kind of multiple positions.
Yeah, I mean, you can just kind of throw him out there, and you don't have to have a crazy offense around him. It seems like he can run the floor, which would be nice for the Bulls, and he looks like he can play some good defense.
Would you have been okay if the Bulls would have slotted in there at 38 and taken Bull?
No, I was like, I mean, it would have been kind of cool. Like you said, he's 7'2", a big guy.
We talked about this too. We're dummies,
but I don't think. I think what they did was the right choice. I'm not saying that Bull is not going to be a great player, but at this point, I mean, he's the reason he fell to 44.
Yeah.
He's, 210
maybe at the maximum.
7'2".
Speaking of height, sorry, ADHD kicking in here. I hit a growth spurt.
No way.
Yeah, I went to the doctor this morning, and I'm no longer just 6 foot. I'm 6'1.5 inches.
Oh, good for you.
I grew, man. My growth spurt's finally coming.
Maybe it's your hair or something.
Nope, they pushed her down. They made me take my hat off. So,
but I think the Bulls did the right thing. They didn't. I think that Bull may have been a grab or a stretch.
Yeah.
Because yes, he's a great player, but I think you got a guy who fits into this offense, fits on this team, and can be a guy who is contributing to this team next year.
Definitely. And the only other, thing I look at with Daniel Gafford, and we'll get into the Colby White pick here in just a second, but when I look at Daniel Gafford, to me, that means you don't have to make a big stretch and keep Robin Lopez around next year. You can now afford to let go of that contract. You don't have to go out and pay him a lot of money because he's a veteran player. You can keep Daniel Gafford, groom him as a young center, sit him behind Jesus Christ, how am I blanking on the name here? Wendell Carter. You can sit him behind him. He can fill in minutes at center. He can play the 4 if Lowry needs a break. I just think it's a good pick. If we can keep Cristiano Felicio off the floor, I'm all for it. And if that means not having to spend to keep Robin Lopez around, I'm all for that too. So, good picks, but let's jump in. What were your immediate thoughts on the Bulls getting Colby White, the way things fell apart in the first round?
I loved it.
I did too, man. I'm all in on him.
I think that they were lucky that they fell to him, to the Bulls.
Yeah.
And I think
the Darius Garland pick at 5 going to the Cavaliers we sat there and watched. It was kind of the catalyst. We're like, this pick means so much to the Bulls because if they were to take Colby White, then you feel like Darius Garland probably falls to them at 7. If they take Jarrett Culver, well, then who do you pick next? That 5, 6, 7 was so fun to watch. I don't know. I was on the edge of my seat.
I mean, it's just it was a nice thing for the Bulls fan who we got mad about the 7th pick. But we got a guy who could come into this team. It's a spot the Bulls needed. It was a guy the Bulls needed, wanted, and they fell to them, fell in their lap. I'm not going to just be like, oh, Garpax great job.
Right.
They're lucky that they fell to them. But it's one of those times you feel like a bad fan, but until Adam Silver said Coby White to the Bulls, I did not know what was going to happen.
Let's look at what happened right after. I mean, the next pick, Jackson Hayes, kind of a big question mark coming out of Texas. I mean, long athletic kid, but was projected anywhere from 10 to 15.
Yeah.
He goes 8. That was one guy the Bulls were big on. Next up, Rui Hachimura, the power forward. The Bulls don't need a power forward, and especially a 3-year kid out of Gonzaga. You know, that's a question mark. You don't need him. Cam Reddish. I liked Cam Reddish, but there's so many question marks
There's
there.
a reason he fell to 10.
Exactly. There's so many question marks in those 3 picks. I felt like for what the Bulls needed and the way that the relationship, now we're hearing about it afterwards, but the way that Jim Boylan and him seem to have gotten along, the way that the interviews went with the team when he was, doing his rounds, seemed to have went amazing. I think they went out and got their guy. The kid's got a lot of character. I mean, I'm sure you saw the video of when Cam Johnson gets picked 11th in the middle, and he was so excited. I mean, just to give up your moment in the sunshine, like that's to his time. Like that should have been the time for Colby White to be a little cocky, like I finally made it to the NBA, and he was more happy to see his best friend get drafted than to talk to the reporter. That was a cool moment. I think we got a good pick. He's 19 years old. He's the fastest kid in the draft. He was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school. North Carolina was damn good this year. I mean, this is a good pick. I'm excited to see what Colby White does.
And just like I said, was it who's the
Darius Garland from Vanderbilt? Yeah.
No, wait. Yeah, the guy we picked.
Oh no, Coby White.
No. The later round.
Oh, sorry, you're running me all over the board here. Daniel Gafford.
The same with he can run. Coby White's going to get out and run, and he can get it going. He can move that ball up. He has handles. We can trust him with the ball, and I think he is going to contribute for this team next year.
Definitely.
I think it was a great pick for the Bulls because it's what they needed. They didn't go out and grab or stretch for anybody that they shouldn't get. They did the right thing.
Exactly. The only other thing we talked about, like you said, it's the not stretching, the not doing something stupid. We talked about them trading out. We talked about them, moving up, moving down. They stuck to their guns and they did the right thing. Now, here's my question for you, Zach. Who's the starter on the first game of the year? Is it Dunn? Or is it Colby White?
Depends. It depends on how Coby White goes out and plays in summer league, how he plays in training camp. If he can prove that he can run this team,
pretty even, right?
I don't think they're going to hesitate. I don't think Jim Boylan, whatever you want to say about Jim Boylan, he's not going to be worried about if hopefully we don't mess up Chris Dunn or hopefully Chris Dunn is the veteran here. He should play. If Coby White comes out and he can prove that he can handle this offense, he can take it over and he can run it, I think you could see him starting. I'm not going to say that they're going to just go out there and do it, but if he comes out, he plays great in the summer league, goes to training camp and takes over the team as kind of a leader, and you can see it on the court, I don't think they're not going to hesitate to give him a chance.
I like that, and that's what I'm saying. Don't give Chris Dunn the starting spot just because he's the veteran.
No.
If Coby White's the guy and he's ready to run the offense, then let's go. Get out, get these baby Bulls running, man. I mean, Coby White at the 1. Zach LaVine's going to be the old vet on the team. And Otto Porter, Otto Porter and Zach LaVine are probably similar aged, if Otto Porter's not even a little bit older. But then you have Lowry at the 4 and Wendell Carter at the 5. Let's go. Denzel Valentine coming off the bench. Hopefully, maybe he can get healthy and finally do something with his career.
Get himself going.
Exactly.
We'll see. Let's get into the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks picked at 3. They picked
Kirby Dach out of Saskatoon.
He's a high schooler. I think he's 18 right now.
Yep.
He's through the media. I mean, all the stuff he's gone on. He has seemed like he's got his shit together.
Yes.
He seems like
seems like a smart kid. He was on the Cubs call the other night.
Cubs call. I mean, he seems like he loves playing hockey. He pretty much says hockey is my life. All I do is hockey.
Definitely.
And he's a center. I think they said that he could come in and compete for a spot on the team next year, and he could contribute for a team, which is crazy. He'll be 18, he'll be maybe 19 when the season starts. I think and they made some trades that have helped the defense. Stan Bowman went on 670 today and was talking about how they filled all the defensive spots that they can. Everything's filled, and they think that they have really turned the table on their defense, which is a spot that he understood was struggling last year, gave up a lot of goals that they should not have. And their offense was not a problem last year.
No.
And
I think adding this kid, I mean, and I'm taking this here from SecondCityHockey.com. They have some great stuff on Twitter. Go check them out. Now, their thing is, and I'll bring this up later about taking a defenseman. They say, is it a steal or a reach? They say it's a little bit of a reach. But here's their synopsis. Dach flourished this past season for the Saskatoon Blades in the WHL, which is the Western Hockey League. He's had 73 points, 25 goals, 48 assists in 62 games, adding 8 points in 10 playoff games. Offers plenty of size up the middle at 6'4", 198. Can skate well for his size. That's good. That's what I like seeing. 6'4" kids that weigh almost 200 pounds that can skate well. That's something that is to me, that's incredible. Like, to me, a guy who doesn't play ice hockey, that's something impressive. He's a natural playmaker with a high hockey IQ, vision, and long reach that helps defensively. Bowman said Dach will have the opportunity to compete for an NHL roster spot, as you said, but Dach doesn't make the team. Then he'll return to Saskatoon. So it's either NHL or bust for him right now. But that the Blackhawks will still own his rights. He'll just continue to play.
It's a cool thing the hockey does with that. They allow to see if you have an opportunity here, and if you don't have an opportunity here, go back and work on your skills.
Yes,
so it's kind of nice.
Definitely.
So kind of conclusion is both the Bulls and the Blackhawks both did great in the draft, I think. You never know with these hockey players, but I think with the NBA draft, with the Bulls draft, I think that the Bulls put themselves. They got their guy. They got the position guy they needed, and they got a guy who could turn into a freak athlete.
Now, with the Blackhawks taking a center, would you have preferred to see them go and get a defenseman? I know we talked about them filling
was
defensive
it
spot.
Byram or whatever was his name? He got picked the next pick.
Yep.
I think it was Colorado actually got his pick. So like I said, we'll be seeing him a lot in the division. But I think the Blackhawks, you could have got a defensive guy. They went out and made some trades after the fact that have helped their defense. So I think if it all comes together, this kid maybe could contribute for the Blackhawks this upcoming season to be kind of nice.
Definitely. And then in the second round, I don't know if you saw this, the Blackhawks actually took a kid out of Wilmette, Illinois, a defenseman, a left-handed defenseman. You don't see a ton of those, I would assume. But he's going to go play at Boston University, where he's going to go play for 2 seasons, and then he'll become a pro. I like seeing the local kids. I was a big fan of the Hartman brothers. They were from the Chicagoland area, I believe, and they played in the Blackhawks system for some time. But yeah, they might not stretch. Maybe the Byram kid didn't fit what the Blackhawks were looking for. They go out and get, in my opinion, probably the best player available at the time, or whatever, for whatever reason. I'll still trust Stan, and we'll see where this thing goes. But then you go and get your defensive guy that you're going to need in the future in the second round. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So like I said, both drafts going to help the team. And I think both teams, especially the Bulls, they did it great in the draft, and it kind of turned some fans maybe into a little bit excited about this season, but you're going to have to go out and sign a free agent sometime this off season, and hopefully they will help it out. But we'll have to see for both teams.
Absolutely.
Let's get into the Cubbies. The Cubbies are on right now. They are in first place in their division. I think what's their record? I think they're about.
They are currently 43-35.
Down 1 run right now when we're watching this, but. Or recording this.
Ruined Adbert Alzolai's first start in the bullpen. Mike Montgomery gives up a 2-run home run.
I think it was a good outing for him, though. I think.
It didn't quite qualify for the win, but.
No, but I think it qualified him for a few more starts.
Yes.
And that's all you got to do right now, because they love the 6-man rotation. So as long as he can perform, the Cubs are going to keep him up and let him have some opportunities.
And he's given up 2 hits in 8 2/3 innings.
Did he give up a home run tonight?
He gave up 2 home runs tonight. The first pitch of the game, it was either Acuna or Albies hit a home run, and then I think it was Acuna that hit the second one. So he might have hit 2 tonight. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, it's good to see.
No, but that was against Montgomery.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So he only had.
Yeah, damn.
Oh, yeah.
as we're talking about. But, the Cubs they go through a tough streak. They had a tough, week to 10 days, and they're still sitting in first place.
And they got Craig Kimbrel.
Yep.
Pitched tonight, Tuesday, for the Iowa Cubs. It's going to be his last one there. He could be with the Cubs as early as Thursday. They were saying how cool it would be. They got it because the Cubs got a 1 o'clock game on Thursday, a getaway day.
Mm-hmm.
They got to play in Cincinnati over the weekend. That maybe if you got to see Craig Kimbrel come out in the 9th inning, how awesome that'd be, how crazy Wrigley Field would be going. Brandon Morrow it seems like he's some good news about him. He's throwing a little bit, looking a lot better. Kyle Hendricks is scheduled to throw a little bit here, so we could have him back soon. And I'm just excited. I mean, you think about it. You get Craig Kimbrel back. You get Kyle Hendricks back. Maybe Brandon Morrow comes back. Pedro Strope's pitching well. Maybe Cishek could be the 7th inning guy.
Yeah.
I'm just excited where the Cubs are going with their pitching. John Lester has a great outing last night.
Bounced back after a couple tough outings.
And what do you expect from a guy like that? He understands baseball. He understands his game.
He knew what he was doing wrong.
He's not going to let a few little games get under his skin, and that's why you want a guy like him, Cole Hamels. Quintana, it's been rough for him here lately, but also one of those guys that you can trust to turn it around, and you don't got to worry about getting in his head.
Right,
so,
for sure.
I mean, like I said, 9 runs, and he had 9 earned runs last one, not good.
Like
but
that.
John Lester's done that a few times. It's pitching. It's Major League Baseball. It's just the Quintana stuff is also starting to get a little old because now that Eloy is playing well.
Yeah.
The comparisons of the trade are starting to get hotter and hotter.
Here's the way I'll always look at this, and you can say what you want. It did. And the fact of the matter is as of right now, the near the end of June 2019, don't get me wrong, Eloy's having a good year, but can we pump the brakes on 3 months in the Major League Baseball?
Quintana won a World Series.
No, he didn't.
Wait.
He wasn't on the team in 2016. It was a year
Oh, you're fucking right. Oh, you're right.
But trust me, it's...
Fuck, you're right. It was the year after, and he pitched against the Nationals. I went to that game.
Yes, but either way,
idiot.
Let's just wait a second before we crown Eloy Jimenez the next Major League MVP. Because
I'm not saying
listen,
Eloy's
it's been 3 months. Stop. People are.
Eloy is going to be a good player, and I hope he's a good player.
Yes,
honestly.
but that's how you run a franchise.
You have to contract, and he got us some more pitchers. You said maybe the White Sox won the trade. I mean, they got 2 good players out of it.
Right.
Well, one
hasn't
player
even played a game in the major leagues yet.
Still, I mean, Eloy's playing well, but I mean, it's not going crazy numbers right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And Cease has not come up yet, but. And I'm also, like you said, Quintana's one of those guys that you don't have to. He's gonna go out there and do what he's got to do. He may. This has become a tough conversation to have. Because that
Eloy is still hitting 250 right now. Come on, let's not act like he's Mike Trout.
Every time Quintana makes a start from here on out, people are going to look at it.
Exactly.
You're going to judge it, and you just can't do that for major league pitchers nowadays. Because I get it, you don't really want to talk about it, but something's up with that ball.
Yeah,
and those balls fly, and you're going to give up more home runs than maybe you would have 5-10 years ago.
Exactly. And like I said, I like Eloy.
The Yankees have had 27 straight games with a home
28
run.
After
28
today,
after today. So that's crazy.
But I keep saying, I have no ill wishes against Eloy Jimenez at all. I think he's going to be a good player. But to come out right now and argue for a guy who's hitting 250 with a 313 on base, just slow down a little bit. Just relax. And Jose Quintana has been having Jose Quintana bolsters your pitching rotation. Yes, he struggled at times, but every pitcher in Major League, Lucas Giolito struggled last week. It's not like people are going to be like, oh, well, the Nationals won that trade because now he had a bad outing. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. I have no ill wishes. I hope both him and Cease have good careers, but that's how baseball organization is run. You have to trade away assets in order to fill voids in other areas. And at times, I'm not saying every single time, but certain Sox fans, just let it go. Relax a little bit.
Speaking of the Sox are doing well.
Except for Tim Anderson went down and had to be carried off the field tonight.
Tonight? Oh, that's not good.
Yes.
Arguably your best player as of right now, hitting-wise, goes down. And it also just hurt. That kind of hurts morale in a way, too.
Definitely.
Was it a serious injury? I don't know.
Was not able to put any pressure on one of his foot/ankle. I can't remember if it was right or left. He was ranging to a ball to his glove side and tried to like turn and throw. I'm not sure what foot planted wrong, but the medical staff had to kind of walk him off the field. So not a good sight.
Sox are exciting to watch right now. They may have a few all-stars on their team.
Lost 3 in a row, down to 36-40 right now.
Apparently, their players that they get from other teams like to go to those places and hit home runs. Yoan Moncada goes to Fenway Park, hits a home run. Eloy hits one at Wrigley Field. So, he said the White Sox are exciting. Maybe they're going to have some. Hopefully, they get a few all-stars. Hopefully, Tim Anderson is well enough to play in the all-star game coming up here. But
yeah, we'll see what happens.
I think the Cubs are going to have probably 3 or 4 maybe.
Here's the nice thing for the White Sox. Right now, as of today, they sit 5.5 games out of a wild card spot. But here's the teams in front of them that makes this a very plausible thing if they continue to win and can put some winning streaks together. Cleveland, Texas. I think Boston's going to be in the playoffs. They're a half game out of a wild card spot right now. Oakland and Los Angeles Angels. Any of those teams, I don't feel confident in that they're going to finish the year off strong. So if the White Sox go on a run where they win 8, 9 out of 10, you're going to see them sitting right smack dab in the middle of that. And that is, I mean, that is pure extra gravy from what the expectations were for the Sox at the beginning of the year.
I really think that they gotta go out. If they really do want to make a wild card run, they gotta go out and they gotta get maybe 1 or 2 starting pitchers, I think, because you can't have Ivan Nova out there if you want to make a wild card run.
Exactly.
You know, he beat the Cubs.
Or Despaigne or whatever his name is. He actually just got DFA'd. But
bring up
Lopez,
see what he's got.
Exactly.
And then go out and trade or see what you can do for a starting pitcher.
Definitely.
And if you can do that, I think you can make maybe a run at this and maybe have some fun with the young guys. Go maybe get into a wild card game. But unless you're not doing any of that unless you go out and get at least 1 starting pitcher.
Right. I agree. I mean.
And Ricky Renteria's got to figure out how to make a lineup.
Oh, my God.
You gotta realize
why is Yoan Moncada constantly hitting 7 and below? Or 6 and below, I'm sorry. Like, that's ridiculous. Yoan Moncada is a very good player, and he's constantly in the 6, 7, or 8 hole. Like, dude, and he's got him bunting. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, what are we doing? Well, let's wrap this up here. Before we wrap this up here, let's talk about 26shirts.com.
Yeah, if you go to SeatGeek, you get your tickets. You get $20 off. But you got to get some new threads to go to a Cubs Sox game, whatever you tickles your fancy. Head on over to see our friends at 26shirts.com. We're excited to partner with 26 Shirts again for the month of June. 26 Shirts sells cool T-shirts backed by an even cooler mission, helping those in need. Every 2 weeks, they offer an exclusive T-shirt for just $25, and a portion of the proceeds from each sale goes to help a person or a family in need or an organization heavily involved in community outreach. The artists who provide the designs receive a percentage, a life is impacted, and you get a limited edition sports-themed T-shirt that will go in the 26 Shirts vault, never to be printed again. I think this month is this 2-week span is the new Eloy shirt. Check it out. Again, not a Sox fan, but that is a cool shirt. If I was a Sox fan, I'd love it. Portions of the proceeds from the sales of these shirts go to help a person in need of serious financial assistance due to overwhelming medical bills. You can read more about this particular cause on the website. Thank you to 26shirts.com/Chicago for sponsoring the podcast in the month of June. Like I said, just go to 26shirts.com/Chicago to order your shirt and help out a worthy cause.
Yes, go out there, get your 26 shirts. You go to the Chicago tab on the website,
Definitely.
And you can go on there. Like I said, they're Eloy shirts. They got flags. They got the mystery shirts. So go out there, check out 26shirts.com, Chicago. Let's get into our top 3 vacation stuff. Vacation
activities,
vacation stuff we do on vacation all the time. Maybe there's some stuff that we always did as a family or something like that. So I'll go first.
Go ahead.
My thing was we did the minor league games everywhere you go. Like you said, you're going to Nashville this weekend. Yep. You want to go to a minor league game. I'd always get the little bats. I have a bunch of them. I've had some ideas of what I might do with them. I might make. I want to make maybe a piece of wood and put the holders in them.
Yep.
And then you can lay them on the walls or hang them up on the wall. wall. Maybe you have like a whole wall of them.
Definitely.
I have a lot of them. So that was always something me and my dad would always go get a bat.
I'll go with you. My collection, and this probably speaks as to why I have a bar in my basement, I was a shot glass collector from the time I was like 10 years old. Right down there, there's probably 3 or 4 boxes right underneath that way in the other side. There's probably 3 or 4 boxes of 200 to 250 shot glasses from all the different places I've been. Even still to this day, 28 years old, I still collect them. And that kind of similar, like you said, with the bats. I need to build. Maybe I get rid of some of these liquor bottles, and I need to display these shot glasses because I've got them from, every national park we went to, every stadium, everything. It's just one of those. I don't know what it was, but they're usually pretty cheap, like $10 or less. So it's just one of those things. Collecting shot glasses was mine. My number 2, and this might. I hope this doesn't take up too much. You might have to limit me here, but like trying the local cuisine. Like me, I'm a fast food guy. When we go to Nashville, I plan on eating no fast food. Like going to like the barbecue joints there, or like when I went to Vegas, I wouldn't go to any fast food places. Like, luckily I had a buddy who lived there, so I'm like, show me the best places to eat that I couldn't. That was my exact words. Take me to places to eat that I cannot eat in Illinois. I love local cuisine and local breweries and stuff like that, just to try something that I've never tried before. So I'm gonna go local foods.
Mine was, when I was on vacation, we'd have like the TV in there.
Yeah,
and I'd watch the weird. I'd watch 61 like 100 times.
Yeah.
And I always watched just random ass movies in there, and I always thought that was fun. We had the big ass TV in the middle.
Yep, me and my brother would. After a couple years, we finally convinced Mom to buy this thing that plugged into the cigarette lighter and it created electrical outlets. So we took his little TV, we took the PlayStation, and we would play MVP Baseball 2005. He would get to play a game on his season, then I would get to play a game, then he'd get to play a game, then I get to play a game, and that's just how we did. Or we'd play a couple games, then we'd watch a DVD. It had a DVD player, so I'm with you there. The movie/TV selection in the car is a way to go.
I would go with when we always went to my grandparents. It would be we go tubing.
Oh, there you go. Little water activities.
Yeah, water activities. Get on jet skiing and stuff. Jet skis kind of suck to own one because they're kind of tough to keep up on, but. I would say,
especially
getting
living
out on
here,
the water, having some fun, getting some sun, drinking some beer, and
definitely
wasn't drinking beer back
then. Now
this
is going to be my third, and this is because this is strictly a vacation thing for me. You know me, Zach. I don't fish. I don't have the patience for it. But you take me up to Wisconsin and put me on a lake, give me a cooler full of beer and some sunglasses. I don't mind it. I don't mind fishing on a boat. I hate fishing on I'm kind of bougie, I guess. I don't like doing it from a dock. I don't like doing it from the banks. Put me out on a boat, get me enough beer, and fishing is my vacation activity because I don't do it in my regular daily life whatsoever.
So just something a little different on vacation.
Yeah, exactly. I guess a vacation loves fishing.
Yeah. So like we said, we're going on a little bit of vacation here. We're gonna take about a week to 10 days off. So we will not. We might even take. Like I said, we might go all the way into We might do one the week after 4th of July, but we'll keep you posted. We're gonna be doing a Facebook live show next week. Oh no, on Thursday. Sorry.
Maybe.
Well, we might not be able to.
Well, we'll keep you guys posted. But we're going to take a little break. We've been hammering out. We got picked up with the Loop Sports back in September, and we've been hammering away. I don't think we've taken more than holidays off since we got picked up in September. So it's been, 10 months now almost since we've taken a legitimate break.
It's going to be the last podcast where I am at Zlilja, Lilja, TCF on Twitter.
Send us some suggestions. I've got mine, but I don't think you're going to like it.
No, I'm not going to let you name it. Follow the main page at typical_Chicago. Follow the Loop Sports at the Loop_Sports. You go on our Facebook Live, like we said, we're going to be maybe doing one Thursday, but we do a weekday show there on Facebook Live, Typical Chicago Fans, and go to Loop Sports on there. Instagram, Typical Chicago Fans, and the Loop Sports.
Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Boomy TCF. No, I will not be changing that because that's easy to remember and I don't have to spell it. But head over to Apple Podcasts, subscribe, rate, and review there. Spotify, make sure you follow us on there. And like we said, while we're gone, we're going to keep hammering some stuff out on the YouTube page. So head on over there, type in Typical Chicago Fans, and hit hit that red subscribe button and keep up with us on there. Watch our podcast, watch our weekly videos, and some other stuff we're going to be plugging away on there.
Shout out to SeatGeek. Type in the promo code TheLoopSports in all caps, $20 off of your first purchase. Monkey Knife Fight. Type in the promo code LOOP. They match your deposit up to $100. Daily Fantasy if you like that out there. And 26shirts.com Chicago. We will see you in a few weeks, people.
Yep.
We love you all.
Peace.